Hey friends, before we get into this vlog, I want to just first of all say thank you to everybody who attended my sourdough baking one-on-one workshop that we had this past weekend. It went great, if I must say so myself. We baked 2 recipes together. We did a honey wheat sandwich bread, and then I also taught them how to do sourdough discard butter crackers. So 2 recipes. We talked all about what a starter is, how to feed it, maintenance. Like, we went through sourdough from A to Z, from start to finish, all of the basics that a beginner should know. So when they left the class, they should feel 100% confident that they can go in their kitchen and bake their first loaf of sourdough. If you missed the class, you missed it. But I am offering a replay like I do for all of my classes. If you want to get the replay, go to the link in the description. You can get a replay. You'll get the full 2-hour recording of me in the kitchen teaching the class, as well as you're going to get a digital workbook. The workbook that I put together is 75 pages. It has everything that you need to know. It has a glossary. It has recipes for both active starter as well as sourdough discard. It takes you through the phases of sourdough. It has pictures. Like, it has everything you need. You literally can read the digital guide and be on your way to sourdough. It is that comprehensive, and it is that simple. So if you want to grab the replay, go to the link in my bio, grab the replay of the recording, and also you'll get the digital book. It does not come with a sourdough starter. So if you just need sourdough starter, we sell that in our shop, livingfoodsfarm.com. Go to kitchen items for sale. You can buy sourdough starter and we will ship it to you, and you will be on your way. And that sourdough starter also comes with written instructions of how to rehydrate it, as well as a video that will visually show you how to rehydrate it. So anyway, make sure that you get it and grab it. Now let's go watch this vlog. Hey y'all, welcome to my tunnel and welcome to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm Barbara. If you're new, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Y'all, today we're in the tunnel doing our weekly maintenance, fertilization, a good water, even though most of this stuff is on drip, but the containers are not. And then we're gonna plant out some more fall crops. That is what we want to do today on this video. Let me show you what we have to work with. These are seedlings that we all started together. Probably, it's been over a month ago now. So these are the ones that we started in the way. Hold on. We started, as you can see, I have some yellowing because they're still in these 6-cell blocks. So they need to definitely go in the ground or be up potted. So you can see I have lots of yellowing. These are the ones in the back, were also in 6-cell pots, but I up potted these about a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't have time to do these. So they stayed in the pots. But you can see these are looking good. These got up potted. You can see they're looking real good. They looked like those before I up potted them. So them giving them more space made them really do their thing. So we're gonna get those in the ground first. And really, y'all, I could take these. This yellow one is just out of space. I could really take these from this to the ground, or I could up pot them. So let's see. Do we want to put these in the ground first, or do we want to go with the ones that's up potted? Let me think on those things. Another thing that we're going to do is we're going to rip out our cucumbers, which is the last summer crop that we have out here, besides basil. I'll see how the basil's looking, but the cucumbers don't look good. I don't know if it's on there today, because when I came earlier in the day, it was gone. But when I was out here last week, I saw like this yellow gel-like substance that looked gross on the leaves of my cucumber plants. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it before. I've never really struggled with disease on my cucumber plants. I don't know what it is, but your girl is not taking a chance on eating the stuff. Even though the cucumber may look good, I'm afraid I'm going to cut it and something going to be on the inside. It ain't worth it to me. I've had my share of cucumbers and I'm good if that's the last cucumber I'm going to have this summer. So we're going to go ahead and get those cucumber plants out first, and that's going to open up some more space. I'm really glad that I have extra seedlings. We did all these seedlings together about a month ago. I did them in 2 successions. So the first succession we put out, and then I had some left over. I gave those to a friend. This was my second succession, which is perfect because as you saw on one of my previous videos, I have some open spots where either the plants didn't make it, or I just have spots where I never planted it the first time. One, obviously where the cucumbers are, and then also we left some open spaces for some of this stuff to give some more variety. So it's always good to have more plants than less. But let's head over to the cucumbers. Let's take care of that first. Get those out of the ground, and we'll see how many spaces we have that we have room to fill. And I'm pretty sure I probably have enough plants to take up whatever is left in the greenhouse. At least I'm hoping so. So let's go take a look at the cucumbers before we say bye-bye. You can see they have powdery mildew on them as well. Before cucumber was here, it was squash. Actually we had cucumbers here as well, and then I had a squash in here as well that got planted by mistake, and the first succession did really well, so I really can't complain about our cucumber harvest. But my husband has the wheelbarrow, and y'all, it's time to say goodbye. This is like, you know, the very last thing in the tunnel that's summer related. We still have summer stuff in the outside garden, but all right, here we go. We're just gonna take them all down. I have one basil plant there, but that one it's about to go to seed. But y'all, I got so much basil, I'm good. Y'all, I had to turn the camera back on. My husband said this hurts. Let me tell y'all something about my husband. Let me turn this camera around. You know, in a marriage you have opposites, right? How opposites attract, I don't understand it. Logically, you would think you would like somebody that's just like you. That ain't the way it works. Opposites attract. Y'all, your girl, I don't have any problems throwing stuff away. My husband, he's a hoarder. He's gonna keep it. I don't care if it's a plant, a letter, a stamp, a penny. He is going to keep it. And I'm like, we're not using that. Let's get rid of it. Do y'all have that in y'all house? But anyway, when it comes to plants, y'all, if it's green, if it has any level of green, you see something trying to bite me because I'm talking about it. If it has any level of green, it could be just a hint. He's like, it is alive. Why are we throwing that away? I'm like, that thing is dead. That thing is dead. So he's demonstrating just, I'm gonna do it because you asked me to, right, honey? That's right. Okay, y'all, what I've decided to do is to grow with first the ones that I have already up potted because they just seem more mature, more of a root system. Some of the other ones are shallow. Not that I can't plant them, but because they're still what I consider smaller seedlings. With the weather just being fluctuating so much, I feel more comfortable doing these first. Not that I won't do some of those, but the first thing I'm going to do is the lettuce to finish, because I was looking, I'm like, where's all my red lettuce? I don't have any red lettuce out. I only have green lettuces out. And I like to mix the red and the green for a nice salad mix for us to eat and to sell. That usually goes over pretty well. So I'm going to plant, I think I have 6 red butter, and I'm going to plant it in the bed that has kale, lettuce, and cilantro. So we're going to do that first. Things in this bed are looking good. Oh, there's a worm. See, y'all, all my hard work. A wormy worm. Ooh, 3, 4 in this one little hole. Yay, that's what we want. That is what we want. Okay, so we're just gonna get these lettuces planted in here. Oh, y'all, I see worms everywhere. Get on in the soil. Y'all, they everywhere. Ain't that what we wanted? It is. It sure is. Now I got something else trying to grow with this lettuce. We're gonna take him out. Looks like some kind of broccoli or cauliflower or something. I'm not sure. Okay, y'all, so the next thing we're gonna do is this bed right here. This is the bed that got hit pretty bad in terms of the plants just kind of disintegrated, got eaten. I'm not really sure. Most of this bed is cauliflower, so we're going to plant more cauliflower. And I am using these 6L blocks as well. So I'm just going to start planting these, and hopefully these will take. Y'all, I see more worms. Unbelievable. Worms, worms, worms. They everywhere. So they definitely have multiplied for sure. And then once we get all of these in the ground, we'll go through and give everything a good water. And then we'll fertilize as well. I'm gonna take this one out because it's struggling. You see I put some traps in here just in case something was like actually eating my plants, but we haven't caught anything in the traps yet. And I'm thinning some of these out because more than one seed germinated. Next is this section. This has never been planted. This last part, we had ran out of our first succession crops, and the second succession crops were not ready. So we're going to go ahead and plant the remainder of this row with broccoli and get that in the ground. So what we're doing here is now we move to this section. This row, I think, did not get planted all the way. I think it was just an oversight. So we have about 5 or 6 spaces that my husband is filling in right here. And I think that's cabbage, right, honey? Look at that tag.
Yes.
Okay, so just put that tag in the first one you did. All right. So we'll do that. We got all the broccoli planted over here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, it's tiny because it was in the 6-pack, but they are there. So in that 1 6-pack of broccoli, we were able to fill 14 holes because more than one seed germinated in the 6-pack. So I was able to thin it out and then just plant individual. There's times when I have not paid attention and I planted, you know, maybe 2 in 1, and the 2 try to grow together, and it just kind of stunts the growth of the overall plant because it's hard for 2, especially things that are thick rooted like broccoli and cauliflower. It's hard for 2 plants to grow together in that one space and not kind of compete against each other. But there's been times that has happened, and that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. You just get a smaller harvest usually. But because I had, I actually saw that and there were many in there, I went ahead and separated them. So we're gonna fill in that space there. Where we just took up the cucumbers, let me show you that. Okay, so that's the cucumber space. You can see all the cucumbers are gone. So we probably had, if I had to guess, probably a good 14, 15 spaces there that we can fill up. I got to decide what I want to put there. Most of the beds are full. I know I have a lot more bok choy on my table that I can put out. I've never done bok choy in the ground. I've always done it in a raised bed. I'm sure it'll be fine in the ground. But I was kind of hoping that this bok choy, because you only get 1 head of bok choy, I was hoping and planning for that when I harvest this bok choy that's in the raised bed, then I can put the other one out. So I think I may keep that a little while longer in the pots before I put the bok choy out in the ground. I'm still debating. I still have Brussels sprouts left that need to go out. I have another thing of cabbage. I have cilantro. I have a couple of spinaches, and I have some lettuce. But we have been able to get quite a bit out. Oh, I just see some spaces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I see 8 spaces on this row right here. And these are just from plants that got, you know, damaged or whatever. Because I have extra, the ones that look damaged, I'm just taking them out. Now, if I didn't have any extra, I probably still would take them out because what? Your girl, I just get rid of it because I can always grow more, right? And because I'm in a hot tunnel, I'm not pressed for time in terms of trying to get a harvest. Now, when it comes to things that have a long maturity, like cauliflower and Brussels sprouts, that can be 100 days, then ultimately I want the things that I have in the ground right now to flourish and to do well. Because starting all over on those, I mean, it's already going to take a long time. And so I really always hope that those things take off well in the beginning so that I don't have to like replant them again in like January or February. But if I had to, I guess I could. Let me go up here and see what else we have that we may want to put out. And I think what I'm also going to do is the rest of the ones that are in the 6-pack, I'm going to go ahead and up pot if I'm not going to put them out, because that'll spare me some time. Not save me some time. It'll spare me some time where if they get into a bigger pot, then they can continue to grow and they won't die being in those 6-packs if I can't go ahead and put them out. So now I'm about to head over to the in-ground part, and I've decided to go ahead and plant some stuff here. If I remember correctly, I think this is cauliflower that I decided to plant, and I'm just filling in more of the open spaces in this area that still have holes left open in them. So I'm just going to go down the row and fill up these open spaces first. On the left-hand side, you see me stopping over at the barrel just to get more compost and the amended nutrients that I had already pre-blended up. I'm putting some of that in each hole as I plant the individual plant. You'll see that these plants are in 6-cell, so they desperately need to go into the ground. And although they're tiny, I'm hoping and praying that they will survive. The weather has been very mild, so as of at least the next 10 days, there's no crazy weather. I think the lowest it's going to get is like 45, which is going to feel like a big drop. But of course, these plants can still handle it. Our estimated first frost is October the 19th. We will see if that holds true. I've been watching the weather forecast, but as of right now, it's in the low 80s, high 70s in the daytime, and it's been in the upper 50s, low 60s at nighttime. So right now we are still to the good, but of course we know that anything can change over the next couple of weeks. Okay, y'all, I have some cilantro left over in these little 6-cell trays. I'm gonna plant it in this herb bed. In this bed I have sage, oregano, basil that won't be here much longer, then Dusty Miller. But I looked up and it said that cilantro is a good companion plant with oregano. So I've never planted cilantro in these little circular beds with this other stuff. It's usually reserved for herbs and flowers, but right now I don't have another place to put it. So this is where it's going. Which I think of, oh, it smells so good. So very good. I think I got 3. So I'll put one over here. Basil is a good companion plant for it as well. Like I said, the basil won't be here much longer, so we'll go ahead and pop this cilantro in here. In my zone, I'm in zone 7B. It's hard. You can't grow cilantro in the summer because it's a cool weather crop. But I always wish that I could have cilantro in the summer, because you have your jalapenos, your tomatoes, your onions, and all that stuff to make the perfect salsa. So I freeze dry my cilantro so that I can have it in the summertime. Okay, I got one more. Let's go on this side. We'll plop it right here, and then we'll add some more water to this bed. Perfect. It's like when I use my canned jars that I've canned, it's something satisfying about opening up a jar that you've canned and preserved and using it. It's the same thing when you empty empty your trays. Do y'all feel that way when you empty your trays of stuff that you've started as seed and you get them empty and put them in the ground? It's like a satisfying feeling. It just is. Okay, y'all, so the last part that we're gonna try to attempt today is we're gonna take the shade cloth off of the high tunnel. It is about to be October. When you see this video, it will be October. And it's time to take it off. Now, the first 2 years that we had the tunnel, we did not take it off. But last year was the first year that my husband took the shade cloth off, and it made a world of difference. The shade cloth helps, and I don't remember what percentage we have. It might be 70%, I'm not sure, that allows 70% of the sunlight to come through. But it's crucial in the summertime because it can get, you know, in the high 90s in our zone, and in the tunnel it can get to like 115. I think 115 is the highest that I've seen it. But it protects the plants from the intense sun, and it works great. But what I found out over time is that it's best to remove it in the cooler temperatures, because your plants need as much sun as they can get. The days are shorter, so it's not direct sunlight as long as it is in the summertime. Keeping the shade cloth on, the plants grew, but they took a long time. We noticed for the first time last year when we first took it off that the plants grew much quicker. You could tell an immediate difference because they're going to get all the sunlight now for the time that it's out versus it being shielded by the shade cloth. So my husband is taking it off. Oh, he over there, y'all, he over there like he a pro. It's only his second time. Let's turn the camera around because clearly he's trying to show off. When I first asked my husband to take off the shade cloth 3 years ago, he was like, in essence, he told me, sis, what goes up must come down. So if I take it off, that means I got to put it back up there, which means I got to get on top. That's the top. And y'all, as tall as my husband is, he ain't trying to do heights. Yeah, my husband is tall, but he don't want to do the height thing. I'm like, man, you halfway there. Let's get to it. So he said it's not that hard once he's zipping on too. So babe, explain to them, because I don't plan on doing it and getting up there. Okay, honey, explain the basic concept of how you take it off. There's a wiggle wire in between the shade cloth and the plastic?
Yeah, there's a channel that runs down the sides and on the ends that this wiggle wire fits into. And it's called wiggle wire because you literally have to wiggle to get it out. But once it's out, it just comes right off. And to put it back on, you just have to wiggle it back into the channel and it holds it in place. Really not that hard. You can really take this off by yourself. Putting it on, you need a little help. But yeah.
So the wiggle wire goes all the way around on the top and then on the back side?
On the back side and along the side. That's what holds it on.
All the way around?
All the way around. Yeah, so it comes in pieces of about a certain length. And that's what keeps it from being blown off.
Just that little wire?
Just this little wire.
And so we just store the wiggle wire. I don't remember where we stored it last year. We might have stored it in the tunnel. We just kept up with it. We folded the shade cloth. It was in our garage because we don't have a storage shed as of yet. And yeah, that's it. So what we did this past year, we put it back on when it was planting day. If you're new here, this will be, I guess next summer will be our 4th year, I think. We have a group of friends that come over. It's called Annual Planting Day, Planting Party. They come over and they help me plant the outside garden. They are not gardeners. They're just my friends. They did it 1 year and they fell in love with it. And so they come once a year and help me plant my outside summer garden. So that is when we will put it back on, which will usually be around the first part of May, somewhere along in there, because then we'll just automatically have help here, and there'll be other guys here that can help my husband and my son put it back on. But taking it off, he said he can do it himself. So that's all good. I'm excited to have it off because I know the difference it'll make with them having like just a direct sunshine. Also, it makes it much warmer in the winter, because again, you're getting the direct sunshine. So just think about if it's 40 degrees outside, you know, you come outside, it's a little nippy. But when I walk into the greenhouse, it's like 60 degrees. It's like a balmy day. It feels great. Even when it was like 20 degrees outside, if the sun is out and it's not overcast, it'll be like 40 degrees in there. So even though 40 degrees is cold, because you came out of 20 degrees, you walk into the tunnel and you're like, ooh, okay, I can do this. I can do this. So it works out really, really well. I do encourage you, if you are looking into buying a high tunnel, somebody told me, and I'm gonna tell you, make sure you get a shade cloth, especially if you're in one of these areas that gets intense sun, like zone 7, zone 8, zone 9. Definitely get a shade cloth on your high tunnel. You will not regret that investment. Okay, we got all the wiggle wire off all the way around. And so now, oh, you taking out the last piece?
Yep.
Taking out the very last piece. For the most part, he was able to do it standing up. He had to get up on the ladder just for the very, very top. And just like that, it comes off. It's done. So it's off. My husband said it's real heavy. But the tunnel is 30 by 96. So, Lexi, no. We don't need your big paws tearing a hole in it. Stay right here with mommy. So I'm going to help my husband try to fold it. It's hard. You can't get it into like a nice little perfect square. It's just a big old square that was sitting in our garage. But I shall not complain. It's off. My plants can now grow, grow, grow. So let me see if I can help him get it folded. And okay, y'all, we got it done. What a productive day. We got out a lot more crops. We're not done, so there'll be like a part 2 or another day where we'll do the rest because the sun is about to set probably in about a good 10 or 20 minutes. And y'all, that was a workout. That cloth is heavy. It is very heavy. I wonder how much it weighs. My husband is going to take his truck and pull up there to get it, because I'm like, man, I clearly did not help him with that last year. I think my son helped him last year because I have no memory of that. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, I did the light work. He did the heavy work. But we got it done. We had a productive day. We, and me and my husband both said as we were planting plants, like, I feel like I haven't been out here in a while. And we really haven't. But that's what happens in the fall. There's just not as much to do that is pressing every single day. You don't come out here for a week. Yep, you got some stuff to do. Like I still got more stuff to do. And we do have a big project in front of us, which is to get rid of all the summer crops in the outside garden. Another day, another video. It's coming. At some point, it's coming. It'll definitely be done before it gets cold, because we definitely won't be out here in the cold getting out summer crops. We're going to get it done in the month of October for sure. But thank you guys so much for joining us today as we hung out in the tunnel, planted some more crops, did some water. I didn't even fertilize, so we'll do that again maybe tomorrow as we plant out more crops. But we got the shade cloth off, which was one of the biggest things on our list to get done. I hope that your gardens are doing well, whether you're still in the summer phase or you're doing the fall. Let me know how your gardens are doing. And remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.